Welcome to Library on Demand. Before we jump into the tutorial, we're going to talk about the platform, some of the icons, and what they can do. The first icon is our media player. That's the red icon with the white box. That is where the video is going to be. You can pause the video in the lower left-hand corner. You can fast forward there and move this window around to expand it if you need a better view. Next, it's the blue icon with the white paperclip. That's our related content. So you'll find links to the MakeCode editor, more advanced programming languages like Python, as well as links to the library catalog for other kits. And finally, our Ask a Question box. If you have questions on this tutorial or other Makerspace related questions, please ask them here. Now on to the tutorial. Welcome to our tutorial on getting started with the BBC Microbit kit, and thanks for checking out this kit. My name is Brian, and I'll be guiding you on how to get started with the Microbit, and we'll talk a little bit about what the Microbit can do, how to make code for it, how to get that code transferred to the Microbit, and make some fun projects. This tiny microcontroller has several sensors: a sound sensor, a temperature sensor, and an accelerometer and compass. And on the front of the Microbit, there are LEDs that light up, but they also serve as light sensors themselves. To start coding for the Microbit, there's an online editor called MakeCode that we will use. We'll get there by typing in makecode.microbit.org. This is where we'll make new projects. But before we jump into those, I want to highlight the tutorials that are available here if you scroll down. These are guided tutorials that will walk you through the process of creating all these different projects using the block coding system or more advanced languages like Python or JavaScript. Another thing I'd like to highlight is down below here, videos on the hardware. So if you're curious about how that button works, how exactly LEDs light up, or how the accelerometer works, these are great videos that explain those. Okay, but let's jump in and make a new project. We'll click that purple box and name our project. And hit create. So this is MakeCode. We will see a simulated Microbit on the left-hand side that is interactive. So you can push those buttons, and when you write code for the buttons, it will show up on the Microbit. In the middle here are all our blocks of code. In the basic area here, we'll be able to make LEDs, icons, and also find our forever and on start blocks. Then you'll find the input options. That's where you can code for the button presses, when you shake the Microbit, or when you use the different sensors on the Microbit. And then the area to the right is where we put our code. These blocks can be moved around and positioned however you'd like. So let's pick out a block and click on it and drag it over to our code area. But let's say you don't want that block there. You've made a mistake. You can just hit the delete key, or you can also just drag it back to where you found it, and that will delete the code. So let's snap in our show LED block there. Here's our forever block. Something I want to show you is the help option there. If you right click and select help, it will tell you more about what that block does, what the code for that block would look like in different coding languages, here JavaScript and Python, as well as give some example projects or code using that block. So we can just close up our help menu by hitting that arrow. Okay, we've talked a lot about what Make Code can do. Now let's actually start coding. The first thing we're going to do is make some LED lights light up on the front of the microbit. So this is in the onStart block, and we can draw just by clicking on the boxes for the LEDs. So now our simulated microbit will show on start, it will show our check mark. So now we will start to use our inputs. Let's select the button press. So we have the on a button press block there, but when we click on the microbit, nothing happens because we have not coded anything to happen. So let's, under the basic input option, let's have the microbit show a string that says hello when we press the A button. So if we hit our microbit, there we go, it says hello. You may have noticed at the beginning, the check mark runs into the H as it starts to scroll hello across the screen. In code, we will clear the microbit. So you can use the search box at the top to search for clear screen, or you can hit the basic boxes and select the clear screen from there. So we'll snap it into place. So now if we look at our simulated microbit, it clears the screen before it shows the text hello. Just to make that a little bit cleaner, we are going to add a pause. So now, when we press the A button, it will clear the screen and pause for 500 milliseconds or half a second, and then show our text. Under the microbit, you will find a few more controls. There is a stop button to have your simulated microbit stop, and a restart button so you can rerun through your code. So now we're going to jump into some more traditional code. We're going to select JavaScript up top here, and it slides into the JavaScript editor. So you'll see here everything we coded with blocks represented in JavaScript, from the button press to our LEDs showing our check mark. What we're going to do is copy the button press, but instead of a block, we will write the code. So we are going to copy everything from that input on and type it out, but instead of button A, we will have it for button B. And instead of saying hello, we will say we did it. So that was copying the code by retyping it. You can also highlight the code, copy it, and paste it. And here, instead of the B button or A button, we will code for the A and B button together. And there is some helpful text that pops up as you're typing. Okay, so now we have our code in JavaScript that we just wrote. And if we click back into blocks, we will see our JavaScript code represented as blocks. Now we will start the process of transferring the code to the microbit. We'll start by clicking the download button. Then you should see a file pop up in your browser with the name of your file followed by a .hex. And then we will follow these instructions of connecting our USB cable to the microbit and the other end to your computer. And there is your hex file. So connecting the microbit to the USB cable is fairly easy. The micro USB cable prongs will go to the back. The other end of the USB cable, of course, goes into your laptop or computer. And your microbit will light up. So now we see our microbit. It's also our E drive. And it is as simple as dragging that hex file onto the microbit. And we will see the code start to transfer. On the microbit side, while the code is transferring, there is a tiny LED near the USB port that will light up. When it stops flashing, your code is transferred. So this is the end of our quick introduction to the BBC microbit. I do hope it is just the beginning for your exploration of creative coding, interacting with the world through computing, and making. And if you did enjoy using this kit, please check out our other kit, the Circuit Playground Express. You can still use Make Code to create code, but there are some more advanced features. Please check it out.